Today, we're taking you on a full walkthrough of the Norwegian Getaway, one of Norwegian Cruise Line's most exciting ships. From the bustling atrium to the incredible waterfront, from the pools to the entertainment and all the specialty dining venues, we'll cover it all so you know exactly what to expect on board. What's up, everybody? It's your boy DC. Welcome back to the channel. Whether you're booked on the Getaway or you're just thinking about sailing her soon, or you just love exploring cruise ships, this walkthrough will give you the inside look that you're looking for. And before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss our cruise tips, reviews, and ship tours. And of course, like this video, share it with your friends, share it with your homies. We would love for them to come on board. And now, let's step into the Norwegian Getaway. All right, so we're going to start off on deck 6 on the aft of the ship. And I did want to point out this little area on the back. They have a scale size model of the ship, and then they have all these plaques, which is pretty cool. Now, it's my understanding that every time that the ship comes into a new port for the first time, there's a ceremony where people from the port will come on the ship and award them a plaque, and then they hang it up to signify all the locations that the ship has been at. Here's a little close-up of the scale, the model of the Norwegian Getaway. You can actually buy small versions of that at the gift shop. We're going to go ahead and start to walk forward on the ship here, past the aft elevators. And we're going to come to our first bar, which is the mix bar. Now, the mix bar is located between the two main dining rooms, Savor and Taste. They're basically mirror images of each other. The mix bar is usually kind of busy right before dinner. Sometimes people are getting drinks right before they go to one of the main dining rooms. So, throughout the day, if you go there a little bit earlier, it's usually pretty empty. Usually a good spot to get a drink pretty quickly. Now we're going to go walk past the art area. And honestly, I know people buy art on the ship, but for me personally, this area was just kind of protruding and in the way. But I did want to point out this little bathroom area right to the left there. It's kind of like a hidden bathroom that not a lot of people know about. So if you're on deck 6 and you have one of these venues, instead of walking all the way to the atrium area, you can duck into that little bathroom right there. Now you did see Teppanyaki on the right, and then we do have La Bistro, which is right here. Both of those are specialty dining. I definitely recommend Teppanyaki. It was one of our favorites on the ship. You also have Headliners Comedy Club. Now, they usually have a show every single night, but you have to get there early. The venue gets really packed really quickly, and it is pretty small. Now, this is what they call the Ocean 678, I believe it's called. You have this beautiful chandelier here and the spiraling staircase that goes up to the 7th and 8th deck. You can see the casino on the 7th deck. And then we're going to go forward again to the atrium area. So as we approach, you do have the atrium bar on the right-hand side here. And then tucked behind the corner, you do have Starbucks, which if you like some specialty coffee, you can get that. Now, Starbucks does have a little area where you can sit, and then there is the internet cafe over on the right hand side if you do need to purchase additional internet or you need some technical support. And there's another seating area over here, and there's also the Perspectives photo studio. Now there's usually photo spots all over the ship where people are taking photos, but I think you can do like a full photo session in there. And you do see the atrium area here where they usually have a lot of entertainment throughout the day and a lot of seating. So it is a good idea to stop in there every once in a while. They do have an open balcony, an open area to the 7th floor, and that was the local up there where people, or actually on the ship it's Oceans, my apologies. So if we come over to the opposite area, you do have guest services. You also saw the specialty dining reservations desk. And then across from guest services, you do have Cruise Next off here on the right. There is this other little cove, again, a little quiet spot where you can, well, not too quiet, right near the atrium, but a little spot you can get some seating and relax. And then right beyond cruise next, you do have shore excursions desk. So if you need to make a change to one of your excursions, you can do it there. They do also have a couple of these throughout the ship, these visual boards, and you can actually do reservations or shore excursions through them as well. Now, before we wrap up Deck 6, I did want to take a look at the Illusionarium. It's this really cool place that's tucked around the corner from the aft, or from the forward stairs, rather. There's a lot of pretty cool decor here, and there is, I think the theme originally was they did magic shows, and it was like a dining entertainment mix that you could see in this venue, but at this point it's really underutilized. I think we did an escape room there, and there was one other activity that we did in this venue, but it isn't really used much. I had read online that they were going to convert this into a different specialty dining venue at the last dry dock, but it does not obviously look like that happened, at least not at the time that we went on the ship in April. But you can see the inside is pretty cool. There's a lot of seating. Only really the right side seating was used for any events that we went, and we went to 2 or 3 events here. Most of the rest of the seating wasn't used, but there is plenty of seating there, and you can see there is a stage area, so it was like a smaller venue. Maybe they did some comedy shows or magic shows here, but again, at this point in time, it's not really used. And that wraps up Deck 6, and we'll move on to Deck 7. Alright, from there we're going to go to Deck 7, and we're going to start at the forward of the ship at the box office theater for the Getaway Theater, which is on the starboard side of the ship. Now, the Getaway Theater does have a lot of seating. They're very comfortable, but it does fill up fast. So you do want to make sure for most events you do get there at least 30 minutes early, potentially more. Now, on the port side of the ship, right beyond that booth, there is a little bar where you can get some drinks, but for most events, people do come around to ask if people want drinks. As you leave the theater, there are more of those digital kiosks where you can make your tickets for reservations and tender tickets and excursions. From there, we're going to go down the hallway to Oceans. Now, this Oceans does have a bowling alley, and you can see there are plenty of games that are available to play where you can win tickets for some, like skee ball, which you can redeem for prizes. And then you enter the seating area. There's seating all around that open area to the atrium, as well as some high top tables. Now, this is all considered the bar area. Now, the seats around the open side you can just sit at, but any of these high top tables, you do actually have to go over to the dining area desk and get seated here. You can't just sit there arbitrarily. And this is the actual the seated area for Oceans. So you can sit at the bar, you can sit at the high tops around the atrium, but if you want any seating, you do have to get placed. From here, we're going to go through the casino back to the open area, or the main part of the casino, and we can see that beautiful chandelier on Ocean Boulevard, Ocean 678 Boulevard, I think it's called. On the port side here, we do have the high limit room for the casino. And we have plenty of table games, as you can see, scattered throughout. There is the cashier's station right there where you can cash out your tickets or your chips. And there is Players Club right there as well. We're going to continue going aft on the ship. And as we continue through the casino, there's more slot machines. We are going to come up to the smoking casino on the left-hand side. They do have a smoking area. It is behind doors, although, to be honest, sometimes the smoke does seep out. Also on the starboard side, we do have Shanghai's Noodle Bar. That is a complimentary dining, but I believe it's only open most nights for dinner. It's very good. And then behind you here, we do have bar 21 where you can, grab a drink before you go to dinner or hit the casino. There's also the Bliss Lounge, and we're going to take a look at the Bliss Lounge here. Now, often they have like 18 up events here, and sometimes they will have dance parties. Jen and I didn't visit the Bliss Lounge much during our cruise that we were on. But there's plenty of seating in the Bliss Lounge. There's a lounge area to the right. You do have the bar with some additional seating. And then you can see on the back there the dance floor with plenty of open space. Now, somebody on the first night of our cruise did actually fall on the dance floor and injure themselves. So again, it's a good idea to not bring your drinks on the dance floor. From there, we're going to continue more towards the aft of the ship, and we are going to go to see the Manhattan Room. Now, the Manhattan Room is also one of the complimentary dining, and it is considered the main of the three main dining rooms. And as you can see, there's a very long hallway to walk into Manhattan Room, but once you get there, there is plenty of seating throughout this dining room. You have more seating over here on the starboard side. And then right beyond there, you can see that red area. It is a ballroom kind of dance floor where you have some live entertainment. And that does wrap up Deck 7. We are now going to move on to Deck 8. Deck 8, we're going to start at the back of the ship, and you have Cagney's and Moderno on the port and starboard side respectively. But as we come down the hallway, right in the middle between the two, you have the Prime Meridian Bar. The Prime Meridian Bar is a good spot to get a drink before going to one of your dinner reservations, and it's probably a good idea to grab a drink first before going into the venue, because the drinks at both locations did take a while to come. So you do have Cagney's on the starboard side, and Cagney's does have indoor and outdoor seating. Compared to some other ships, it is a little smaller on the indoor, but that is because they do have the outdoor seating, although they do have some extended seating over in this area here. As we go around to the port side, you will see Moderno, and Moderno does have this beautiful buffet for the salad buffet that they have before your meat starts to come out to your table. Then they have seating that wraps around this entire area as well. And then both venues, again, do have seating that does go on the outside of the ship, and there's a little spillover around the Prime Meridian Bar. Now, from those restaurants, we're going to continue forward past the aft elevators towards Tradewind's tax and duty-free area. Now, there's several shops in this area. You will notice the beauty shop. We also have Effie for your jewelry needs. There is also the Time Zone where you can get watches. They do have some sunglass area. And then directly across, there is the Tide Boutique where you can get little gifts and some clothing items. And then you also do have the Perspective Studio, where this is where you can go to view your photos as well as get some keepsakes. They do laser etching into stuff. You can buy frames. They actually have really good deals on frames, so if you do buy some photos, you might want to check that out. You can also buy some camera items as well. And these little display cases that you see down the hallway as we continue forward are open during the day to sell items as well. And we're back on Ocean Boulevard, 6, 7, and 8, and you can see this chandelier. And you have a bunch of restaurants in this area. So you do have the Raw Bar. You do also have Ocean Blue and Wasabi located all in the same area. Ocean Blue does have both indoor and outdoor seating. Again, it is rather small, and we'll take a look at the inside of the venue, but there's not a ton of seating inside. But they do have some spillover seating outside as well. Now, if we go across to the other side, you do have the Sandbar where you can buy duty-free alcohol, and then you have the Sugarcane Mojito Bar, which has indoor and outdoor seating. It is one of the only bars that has specialty drinks on the Norwegian ship. And then right over here, you have the Sky Ice Bar where you get to go inside for an extra cost, get a few drinks in a room that's made entirely of ice. It is a cool experience. You do have to bundle up because it is very cold in there. And we're going to continue forward on the ship. There's some seating here in this next hallway, and then you come up to a venue and a bar on the right. So you do have the Sunset Bar, which has indoor and outdoor seating. And tucked around the corner there is the Humidor Cigar Lounge, where you can go in and enjoy a cigar. This was a popular spot on the ship, and there was often a lot of people hanging out here. We do have directly across La Cucina, which is the Italian specialty dining venue on the Norwegian Getaway. Now, Jen and I never get to experience this, but the decor in here is pretty cool. It does feel like an Italian bistro, like you were actually in Italy, with the very, brick and sort of ancient old world feel to it. And then across from there, you do have Sid Norman's Poorhouse. So this is a popular venue. The Sid Norman's Poorhouse band does play in here several times, but you can see it is rather small. So you do want to get there early, typically about 45 minutes to an hour early if you're looking to get seating. Otherwise, if you show up 30 minutes before at the time of the event, you will be standing room only. It is a great venue, and the band is amazing, so definitely you want to check that out. All right, and then from there, we are going to continue forward to the ship and take a look outside on the waterfront. Now, the waterfront is an outdoor area that wraps around basically about 2/3 of the ship. From this starting point in the forward part of the ship, all the way around the aft and to the back. And for the most part, there's a lot of outdoor seatings. Some of the indoor bars are extended outward. And we're going to, just continue here. I'm going to speed this up so, you get the picture. There's outdoor seating for most restaurants. There also is some areas that have very comfortable lounge seating for you as we walk past the outdoor seating for Ocean Blue here. The path is narrow in some areas, especially where there's outdoor seating. But there is a few locations, and you can see some of the lounge chairs, which are really comfortable to sit outside, especially if the Lido deck is full. You can come down here and hang out and get a little bit more quiet and still enjoy the outside, especially if you don't have a balcony cabin. They do have some binoculars for viewing. And then over here, you do have the bake shop, and Dolce Gelato. So you can get ice cream right there from Dolce Gelato, and then if you just pop inside here, you can get the bake shop. They have little cupcakes and macaroons, which are awesome, but those are both at an additional cost. We continue walking around to the aft of the ship, and you do have the outdoor seating for Moderno, and then we come to the wraparound, which does extend to the rear of the ship, and you do have a beautiful view here, which I did want to slow down so you guys can see the wake of the ship here as we do wrap around. There's no seating here, but definitely, you can stand, or as you walk around, you do get this beautiful view. And often what Jen and I would do is walk around this several times after dinner to kind of burn our calories and get a little bit of exercise and some outdoor activity. This does wrap all the way around, and now we come up on the port side of the ship, and you have essentially the same outdoor seating. You're going to start off with Cagney's because we are at the rear of the ship. So you have your outdoor seating for Cagney's right here. And then as we continue forward, this is public seating for, if you want to grab a drink and just hang out and relax outside. You can do that here in some of these chairs, just different style decor in this area. And you do have some of the couches, which are nice if you want to lay out, which Jen definitely did. You come up to trade winds, and you can get back inside for trade winds. And again, you do have just amazing views when you're out here. And this is basically around sunrise, so the sun was starting to come up. It was It was really amazing. And right up here at the Sugarcane Mojito Bar outdoor seating, they do have the Sail and Sustain drinks that they make. So every day they'll take expiring fruits or items and blend them into a particular drink that you can only order at the outdoor portion of the Sugarcane Mojito Bar. So definitely check that out. And we're gonna move quickly again, more towards the front of the ship or the forward area. Again, just outdoor seating for some of the restaurants, and then some more public spaces for you to walk around and take a look at the incredible view. Now let's take a look at deck 15. So we're going to start at the forward part of the ship where you do have the Pulse Fitness Center and the Mandarin Spa. So as we come down this long hallway, the Pulse Fitness Center does split into two sections. You do have the starboard side, which has all your cardio machines, which face out looking at the ocean, so you can get a nice jog in or hit one of the exercise bikes while you are looking out at that beautiful view, which you'll see right here. And then across the hall, you do have the other part of the fitness center, and this is where all your weight machines are. So you have, a full gambit of machines. There is some few free weights, and I think right in the back there they do have a spin class that's available on that other side. From there, if we go down or forward a little bit more, you do come to the Mandarin Spa. Now, I did not get video of the entire spa itself, but this is the lounge area. This is where you're going to go for your massages or if you do have a pass to the thermal suite. The barber salon and beauty salon is also here as well. And from here, we are going to go outdoors to the pool area. So we're now on the Lido deck, and you can see as we walk up here, we do have some hot tubs. You do have a stage area there with a hot tub on either side. You have your pool. It does have a little wading area and then a deeper water if you want to swim. That's another view of the bar there, so you can see, or the stage rather, so you can see that while you're in the pool or the hot tubs, you can see the music that's going on. And then around the pool, there's two more hot tubs. So there's a total of 4 hot tubs overall on the Getaway deck. You do have the Waves bar here across on the outside of the pool area. And if we continue on, we do start to head towards the back of the ship. Now you can see there's plenty of lounge chairs on both this level and up on deck 16 for you to relax. And then as we come around here, this is the kids aqua park. So there is a kids aqua pool, and then there is a little splash area for them to play in as well. As we come up here, we're going to quickly glance to the left. This is the area that you get your towels. So when you do need to exchange your towels or pick some deck towels up, you go right there. And as we come up to the right, this is the area that you go to get on the water side. So you see that little stairway there. You head up there, and then depending on which slide you want to go to, you can hit one of the various slides. Now we're going to go forward a little bit more, heading towards the buffet. You did see that sign for the American Diner up on deck 16. There is a beverage area right here on the outside of the buffet area with some seating outside as well. And then directly ahead there, you do see a little bar, which you can get a drink. Now, as we head to the buffet, this was in the morning, so just before breakfast time. There are these 2 stations on either side in the front. Those tend to be really crowded, so if you are looking for, a lot of staple items, you can head to either side and get the same items here. So for breakfast, they have a variety of different foods. They even had cold cuts out in the morning for people. You do have a beverage and coffee station. And then as you move a little bit further towards the back of this ship, you're going to have your hot cereals, your soups during the daytime. There's the bread area where you can get your bagels or toast, some sweets and fruit. We have our breakfast meats, and then a little bit further, there's also the pancakes. And around the back here in just a moment, you are going to see the vegan area. So they do have like a specialty dining if you have food sensitivities, this vegetarian or sometimes vegan area where they'll have specialty dishes for people that have accommodations. And that is a nice little touch. And that wraps up deck 15. Let's take a look at deck 16. So we are starting at the aft of the ship, and I am going to take a look at the Spice H2O area. Now during the day, this is an adults only area. So they have a wading pool, a couple of hot tubs, and there is a bar over on the starboard side. In the evening, this does become an area where they tend to have a lot of dance parties. Like for example, the 80s dance party was out here. But we tended to stay away from this area because it was in the aft of the ship behind the smokestack. So a lot of times when the ship was moving, you're like breathing in all those fumes, and I think it just wasn't the best placement here. So we didn't spend too much time in this area. Now, if we head forward a little bit, we are going to come up to, and you do see the Entourage Lounge there, and then we are going to come up to the arcade. So the arcade does have, a bunch of different games that you can play, a variety of fun and interactive games, some of which are like the claw games, others are just, arcades. You can win tickets on some of these, like skee ball, for example, and redeem them for prizes on that case that you saw as you first entered in. Now, additionally, this is a little tip if you do like to play the game where you hide ducks and find ducks. They do have this machine right here, which you see, and this does give you a duck, and it is a guaranteed win every time. So you can get a bunch of ducks, try for your favorite, and then hide some if you get some extras, which is what Jen and I tend to do. Now, I did also want to take a look at the American Diner. This is an included venue here on the Norwegian Getaway. Now, there is a beverage station right here where you can get your coffees and juices. And then there is a desk area where you can eat at the bar. And then there is also this area as well, which they've turned into a buffet for breakfast. So a hot little tip, if the buffet is crowded, you can get most of the items here at the American Diner. I did eat here one day, but honestly, the food wasn't up to par, and you can get most of the same items at the Oceans bar. Now, I did want to point out the jogging, walking track and some of the seating that are around this area. Now, this is a little bit misplaced. It tends to be in a really high traffic area, and often there's a lot of lounge chairs around here. So, people that are trying to walk or jog are commonly in the way. And from here, you also do see both the ropes course in the back and the water slides. And it has a really good view, so I wanted to feature that here. Again, as you continue around the track, you can see we have a beautiful ocean view on the right. And often, this was an area that Jen and I did come to get some sun and hang out for the day, and then just head down to the pool when we wanted to get a dip. And again, that's another view of the variety of water slides that you do have on the Getaway. So we're going to continue around the jogging track a little bit, and we are going to head forward on the ship. So again, there's a ton of seating, and this is sunrise, so the sun is just starting to come up. You can see that people already have their towels on the chairs, so you do want to get out there early. And as we continue to walk ahead, we are going to come up to a sun deck, which is technically on deck 17, I believe. Now, here's the door to the Vibe Beach Club, and I did sneak a little bit of a view in there. There's some nicer lounge chairs around that area. And I think this is kind of near the Haven courtyard, which we will see up here in just a moment. But I did want to just point out that they do have this additional sun deck up here. So if you were just looking to sun, there is this area up here as well, which tends to not be extremely crowded. And then there is a view of the Vibe Beach Club and the Haven courtyard as well in the background. And then the final area that I wanted to take a look at with you guys is the ropes course. So again, on our sailing, this was closed most days. It tends to be closed on sea days. because of high winds and for safety reasons. But on this particular cruise, it was closed most days. Now, again, this is on the after the ship behind the smokestack. So because of that, you do tend to have a lot of fumes that you're breathing in. Now, we didn't do this on this last sailing. I have done this before, and it is fun, but it's kind of like a one and done activity. And from there, I did want to take you up to this staircase to the activities and sports court. They basically have basketball and some other sports that you can play up here. And this also does give you a nice view of the ropes course, which does wrap around. And there you have it. That's a complete look at the Norwegian Getaway. Drop us a comment down below. What's your favorite part of the ship? And of course, until next time, stay salty, stay adventurous, and happy cruising. I wasn't recording. All right, let's try this again.